Latest chapter of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex has brought us back to a very uncomfortable conversation that I think the fandom loves to avoid. In this conversation up on this channel, I get a lot of backlash in the comments, not all the time, but sometimes. And the conversation is, Boruto is going to die. Dare I say, since the beginning of Boruto Next Generations up to now, the narrative's been pushing us in that direction, that Boruto is clinging on to life. At times, Boruto is willing to sacrifice himself to save his friends. He's always been attempting to find his own way in life, figure out who he is as a person and what he wants to do, and the road he wants to pave for himself. Any normal-minded child, but since he's the son of the Hokage, the greatest Hokage to ever live, there's a lot of pressure on Boruto from the beginning. He didn't fit into the shinobi world at first. Finally became Sasuke's student, and after becoming Sasuke's student, he was able to forge his own path and ultimately defeated Momoshiki. Then he was branded by this god to be a vessel, placing a timer on his lifespan because Momoshiki will reincarnate in this body and Boruto would cease to exist. This is where we go through all the different events of Boruto fighting to stay alive, like helping Sasuke get Ishiki out of the village and helping in that battle somewhat. Been working with his brother Kawaki to hopefully find a solution to Momoshiki taking over his body using the Karma Seal. They had to go with their most drastic plan, which is Boruto sacrificing himself and allowing Kawaki to kill him because Boruto understood that nobody in the village would be able to cut him down, especially not his father or Sasuke. Even after the swap between Kawaki's life and Boruto's life, Boruto was still clinging on to life thanks to Sasuke Uchiha and also Kashin Koji that gave him a mission to continue to find his life purpose by protecting his friends and family from the shadows, preparing for the God Tree clone's arrival. If you've been paying attention, the Grim Reaper and Boruto are practically best friends. Strictly going off the manga, Boruto's always escaping death in every single arc he has participated in. With the recent events of chapter 25 unfolding with Boruto attempting to make deal with the devil being Momoshiki, we now see the desperation of Boruto, and we all know he's practically playing with fire at this point. In this video, I'm going to explain why Boruto, he's definitely going to die in the next couple of chapters. Also, Momoshiki betraying Boruto, and the safeguard, the only safeguard that Boruto has in the background that may save him from Momoshiki's betrayal. But don't worry, all this is perfect because this is going to trigger SHIBAI's awakening. If I start this video, go ahead and smash the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Based on the analytics, 70% of my viewers aren't subscribed to his channel. So if you've been enjoying the content, go ahead and subscribe to his channel and help us continue to grow and reach a bigger audience. But you know it's theory time, just let me cook. The most obvious scenario that's going to take place with this new deal between Momoshiki and Boruto is Momoshiki is going to betray Boruto. There's no way we can actually trust Momoshiki at this very moment, especially based on how desperate he is. When he was introduced to chapter 25, he told Boruto that he's been despairing, that Boruto keeps on clinging on to life, and anytime that Boruto doesn't die, Momoshiki is forced to live within his body in despair. Momoshiki is saying that once Boruto dies, he can finally die as well, so he can just be nothing. He can't take over Boruto's mind or body anymore, so it's kind of over. Which is kind of strange because he was able to 3 years ago, so I'm wondering what changed. You know, when Boruto fought against Code with Sasuke and his karma took over. I don't believe anything Momoshiki is saying. I feel like Momoshiki definitely putting up a facade. And I know you guys are wondering, like, Tusai, where are you getting this from? Just based off everything Boruto said in chapter 16 when he first told Kawaki that he feels like he's dying and becoming a new being. And Kawaki looked at him and told him that isn't good. That means are becoming one with Momoshiki, and I don't know what happens, but let me also add in, anytime the Karma Seal came out in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, Boruto always panics. And if Momoshiki truly doesn't have the ability to take over his mind and body, there shouldn't be an issue with Boruto using his Karma Seal. That's why I feel like Momoshiki is just lying. He has something up his sleeve, hard to play, because if we understand Momoshiki's future sight, Boruto has access to this ability only because his mind is fused with Momoshiki's mind. So whatever Boruto saw in the future, where he got the idea to get Kawaki to join the battle to change the course of whatever 10 Directions told Kashin Koji, Momoshiki had to see it too. And I'm wondering if Momoshiki has seen everything Boruto's planning, because this gets into what I'm saying, Boruto's safeguard. The only safeguard Boruto has with this plan with Momoshiki is that he foresaw something using Momoshiki's future sight, where he thinks he can get his body back from Momoshiki just in case if anything goes wrong. Here's my issue. I know this a lot. If Boruto is using Momoshiki's ability, Momoshiki has access to the same visions that Boruto's seeing. That means Momoshiki can also prepare to counteract anything that Boruto has planned. So it's like a double-edged sword. I believe Momoshiki and Boruto are actively working against each other because all the information they're getting is coming from one source. There's no way avoiding that situation. So it's obvious Momoshiki's going to betray Boruto. Once he takes over Boruto's body, I really think Sarada's in danger because Sarada is the reason why Momoshiki's in this situation, and I know it's pretty obvious to Momoshiki that Sarada changed Boruto's fate. So Sarada is in danger if Momoshiki ever comes out of it. That's the ultimate chess move to put Boruto in despair. Kill Sarada and kill Hima, Boruto's parents. Sarada and Hima are probably the most important people to him at this very moment in the series. Sarada is because he made a promise to Sasuke that he will protect Sarada no matter what, because Sasuke foresaw Sarada's new abilities would be useful in the future, and Hima is his little sister. That's the one person that looks up to Boruto, and as her older brother, Boruto has a duty to protect her and keep her safe. Momoshiki is just going to snake Boruto by putting his friends in danger, and this is all going to be an attempt to keep Boruto in despair so, you know, he can keep the body. It leads to the point of the conversation that Boruto is going to die. When Boruto's contingency plan fails, what's going to be left? A rampaging Momoshiki with a Boruto trapped in his own body, and the roles will be reversed. Right now, Momoshiki is in Boruto's body in despair, but when Boruto switches roles with Momoshiki and Momoshiki wows out and just does all types of crazy stuff in the village, well, Boruto's going to be stuck in his body, despair, the ultimate Uno reverse card. It's to the most obvious point of this video where Boruto is going to have to die. With all his plans failing, Momoshiki rampaging throughout the shinobi world, Kawaki and the rest of the team is going to have to team up and finally fight against Boruto. We're going to get the new Team 7 versus Momoshiki. Something that's kind of been foreshadowed for the longest if you really want to count the anime canon, which I hate counting most of the time. If you remember before the second Chunin exams, Sasuke kept talking to Sarada and asking her if she has what it takes to take down Boruto. We know we don't have to tell Kawaki twice to kill Boruto. The moment Momoshiki comes out, Boruto's no longer human and Kawaki's putting the holes all over that man's body. Pause. So there's really no choice. Plus Sarada's ability to negate durability, Mitsuki with Sage Mode. Yo, Mitsuki in the Sage Mode, father. But anyways, you gotta throw Mitsuki in. Of course he's gonna try to go Sage Mode and help. I'm not sure what it's gonna do. Shiki betraying Boruto dying is gonna trigger the events that we've all been waiting for. Yes, the Jogon's gonna be awakened, but not before we get introduced to Mr. Shibai Otsutsuki, the god of the shinobi world, or the universe, or everything in creation. I don't know if he's Kami, the Kami god that was mentioned in the introduction of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, the first volume. Who really cares? The point is Shibai is going to be triggered after the events of Boruto's death. Boruto's probably going to hear his voice or see some type of vision of him. Outside of that, Boruto's going to awaken his Jogon. I also want to make a video talking about everybody thinking that Boruto is going to become Shibai. The reason why I'm not feeling that theory too much is because honestly, we've seen this kind of already, like the reincarnates, even though you can get into the time loop, timelines, all that, and Boruto being Shibai from the beginning and kind of taking the role of Eren Yeager. You know how the Attack on Titan was able to see all the paths and alter them and all types of stuff, like, and he chose the best possible scenario where he kept coming back to. I think it would be kind of weird if they go down that route with Boruto, because like I said, we kind of already had the reincarnate situation in Naruto and the Sage of Six Path. I feel like they should just do something different, something fresh, something new, but that's just my opinion. The point of the story, Boruto's contingency plan is based off of the future sight, Momoshiki's future sight, and if Momoshiki is seeing the same future sight, well, he's going to create his own counter plan to make sure Boruto will stay locked within his subconscious and go back to his original plan that he mentioned in chapter 76. When this all happens, a rampaging Momoshiki is going to have to die. I'm sorry. So Boruto's going to die. And when Boruto dies, it's going to trigger Shibai's awakening and the Jogon. But that's it for the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And I'm out.